Trading isn't just about numbers and strategies, there's a deeper force at play. Many chase the perfect system, thinking it guarantees success, but overlook the real variable, themselves. The market is a reflection of collective human psychology, a battleground of hopes and fears. Your emotions shape every trading decision, coloring your perception and actions. Ignoring your emotional state is like sailing without understanding the wind. You'll be tossed around no matter how good your map is. Many try to suppress fear or greed, believing traders must be emotionless machines, but you can't eliminate emotions, you can only change your relationship with them. Mastery begins when you work with your emotions, not against them. Your strategy is only as good as your ability to execute it without emotional interference. The market will always test your deepest fears and desires. True trading is about reading yourself as much as reading the market. Accepting this unlocks your real potential. At Prophetic Analysis, we empower you to confront and analyze your feelings for better trading outcomes. In the world of trading, two powerful emotions dominate every decision and every moment at the desk. These emotions are fear and greed, and they shape the actions of even the most experienced traders. Greed lures you to chase bigger profits, tempting you to break your own rules and risk more than you should, all for the promise of that elusive jackpot win. Fear, on the other hand, can paralyze you, making you exit trades too early, avoid valid opportunities, or become haunted by memories of past losses. These emotions often create a destructive cycle. Wins fuel greed, which leads to overconfidence and reckless trades, and big losses then trigger fear and hesitation, making it hard to recover. But the truth is, the market itself is completely neutral. It doesn't care about your feelings or your plans, it's your interpretation that creates emotional turmoil. Price movement isn't inherently scary or exciting, it's your beliefs and expectations about what it means that trigger fear or greed inside you. Mastery begins when you learn to separate the market's neutral information from your own emotional reactions and see things as they really are. Recognize the moments when you're acting out of fear or greed rather than logic or a well-thought-out plan. The key is to respond thoughtfully to the market, not to react impulsively or emotionally. Your real edge comes from discipline and consistency, not from chasing after feelings or running from them. Every trader, no matter how skilled, faces these emotions. What truly matters is how you manage and channel them. The market doesn't care about your hopes, your fears, or your dreams, it simply moves. In the end, only you can control your response. Master your emotions, and you master the market. Meet Alex, a trader with a solid, back-tested strategy. He's spent months preparing, studying the markets, and building confidence in his approach. Every detail of his plan has been tested and refined, and he's ready to put it all into action. On his first real trade, Alex followed his plan until the market moved slightly against him. Suddenly, fear crept in. His heart raced, palms grew sweaty, and doubts flooded his mind. What if he was wrong? What if he lost more? Overwhelmed by anxiety, he ignored his stop loss and closed the trade early for a small loss, abandoning the rules he'd set for himself. For a moment, Alex felt relief. He was out of danger, but that feeling didn't last. The market soon reversed and hit his original profit target just as his plan predicted. Regret and frustration quickly replaced relief. He realized he had a winning plan, but fear had sabotaged his execution and cost him a profitable trade. This is a common experience for traders. Fear overrides logic, making you abandon your edge and second-guess your decisions. Alex's problem wasn't his system, but his mindset. He needed to understand that trading is as much a mental game as a technical one. He saw a normal fluctuation as a threat, not just data. The market's natural ups and downs felt personal, even though they weren't. One fear-driven trade can undermine your confidence and make every future trade feel riskier, creating a cycle of hesitation and doubt. The cycle of fear leads to self-sabotage unless you learn to manage it. Without awareness, mistakes repeat, and progress stalls. Fear is powerful, but it's not insurmountable. With practice, you can train yourself to respond calmly and stick to your plan. Recognize when fear is dictating your actions. Pause, breathe, and remind yourself of your strategy and preparation. Trust your plan, not your momentary emotions. Your edge comes from discipline, not from reacting to every market move. Consistency comes from discipline, from following your process even when it's uncomfortable or scary. Every trader must face and overcome the grip of fear. It's part of the journey, and learning to manage it is what separates successful traders from the rest. Now let's look at Sarah, who had a streak of winning trades. Success made her feel invincible. Greed crept in. On her next trade, she ignored her profit target, convinced she could double her gains. The market kept rising, reinforcing her decision, until it suddenly reversed. Her big profit vanished, turning into a loss. She held on, hoping for a turnaround, but the loss grew. By the time she exited, her week's profits were wiped out. Greed blinded her to risk and made her break her rules. This is the trap. Feeling special leads to reckless decisions. Greed disconnects you from reality and turns discipline into gambling. Like fear, greed is a powerful force that can destroy your edge. The market punishes overconfidence and rule-breaking. Recognize when you're chasing more instead of following your plan. Discipline protects you from the siren song of greed. Stay grounded. Your rules matter more than your feelings. In trading, you need an anchor to steady you when emotions run high. The markets can be unpredictable and your reactions can swing from excitement to anxiety in a matter of minutes. Having a guiding principle helps you stay grounded, especially when the pressure mounts and decisions become difficult. Peter Lynch said, "There's no shame in losing money on a stock, everybody does it." Even the most successful investors have faced losses, and it's a universal experience in the world of trading. What is shameful is to hold on to a stock, or worse, to buy more of it when the fundamentals are deteriorating. Clinging to hope or doubling down on a bad position only deepens the mistake and can lead to even greater losses. This wisdom normalizes losses. They're not a reflection of your worth, just part of the business. Every loss is a lesson, an opportunity to refine your strategy and grow as a trader. The real mistake is letting ego and fear keep you in a losing trade. When you let your pride or your worries dictate your actions, you risk compounding your errors and missing out on better opportunities. Professionals accept losses as routine. Amateurs let emotions dictate their actions. The difference lies in how you respond. Do you stick to your plan or do you let panic take over? A stop loss isn't failure, it's your system protecting you. It's a sign of discipline, not defeat, and it keeps your capital safe for the next opportunity. Losses are neutral information, not personal judgments. They're signals, feedback from the market, and nothing more. When you accept this, you free yourself from the fear of being wrong. You become more resilient, able to move forward without hesitation or regret. Execute your plan, knowing losses are manageable and expected. Consistency and discipline are what set successful traders apart from the rest. The market is just data, not a verdict on your ability. It doesn't care about your feelings or your past trades, it simply reflects reality. Write this quote down. Let it remind you that discipline, not perfection, is the goal. Keep it visible, and let it guide your decisions when things get tough. Your edge is in your mindset, not in avoiding losses. The right attitude helps you adapt, learn, and thrive in any market condition. This belief is your shield against emotional trading. Remember, trading is a journey, and your mindset is the compass that keeps you on course. The pain of loss in trading isn't just personal, it's hardwired into human psychology. Kahneman and Tversky's research showed that losses feel about twice as painful as equivalent gains feel good. This loss aversion explains why traders cut winners short and let losers run. When in profit, fear of losing it makes you exit early. When in a loss, you hold on, hoping to avoid the pain of realizing it. This is irrational and breaks the cardinal rule: cut losses short. Loss aversion is natural, but you must act against it to succeed. You're not flawed for feeling this way, you're human. Success requires a plan with clear exits and the discipline to follow it. You must rewire your brain to prioritize long-term results over short-term comfort. Losses are part of the process, not something to fear or avoid. Overcoming loss aversion is essential for trading success. To master your emotions, redefine what a loss means. Most see losses as failures, but in trading they're just data points. Viewing losses as personal failures leads to shame and poor decisions. Instead, treat every loss as information, feedback from the market. Was it a flaw in your strategy, or did you break your rules? If you followed your plan, it's just a statistical outcome. If not, it's a lesson about discipline. Keep a journal to analyze trades, not just track results. Each trade is a case study for improvement. This objective approach transforms you from a victim to a researcher. Confidence comes from following your plan, not from avoiding losses. Losses are business expenses, not personal defeats. Use them to refine your edge, not to fuel self-doubt. Accepting losses as data is vital, but what about in the heat of the moment? The answer is self-observation. Become an impartial witness to your emotions. Develop an observer's mind that notices fear or greed without judgment. Start with mindfulness. Check in with your body and feelings during trades. Noticing your emotions creates a gap between feeling and reaction. In that gap, you can choose discipline over impulse. Analyze your emotions with curiosity. Ask why you feel fear or greed. Challenge the beliefs behind those feelings. Remind yourself, your plan has an edge over many trades, not just one. Your job is to execute, not to avoid discomfort. This skill takes practice, but it's as important as reading charts. With time, you'll act in alignment with your plan, regardless of emotion. This is the heart of trading psychology discipline in the face of feeling. The real journey in trading is internal, toward emotional mastery. The market exposes your strengths and weaknesses, demanding self-control. No strategy can replace the need for emotional discipline. Mastery means taking full responsibility for your results. Your success depends on your rules and your ability to follow them. This responsibility is empowering. It puts your fate in your hands. Integrate all the principles. Recognize fear and greed, accept losses as data, fight loss aversion, and practice self-observation. This isn't a one-time fix, but a lifelong process. The skills you build in trading, discipline, patience, resilience, benefit every area of life. The market is a relentless teacher, showing that your biggest obstacle is internal. By conquering your mind, you become a better trader and a stronger person. Emotional mastery is the final frontier, and your greatest edge. The journey is within.